Elizabeth was a good pregnancy. We knew we were having a girl. We were very excited about her. Normal birth, everything went great. She was, very happy that first day. It was the second day, really in the evening, that she hadn't really been eating and she had been a little fussy. And the doctor came in and told me that they weren't too worried about her yet. They came in the next morning and handed her to me and said there was something wrong with her.
She had been taken over and admitted into NICU for her illness. They were, you could tell they came together because they were terrified to give us the news. And as soon as they said it, we knew exactly what it meant.
It was becoming clear that she wasn't going to meet milestones. So we were preparing ourselves to have a little special needs daughter.
It's really, really hard, as it would be for any parent, I think. But it's, you take what you're given and you just keep moving forward with it.
We have a very happy 4-year-old little girl, so I wouldn't change it for anything. It's really just kind of adapting to her. We don't treat her really special needs. We just treat her like our daughter.
Elizabeth, she's such a sweetheart. She's just, her smile, she's got a smile for everybody. She always makes eye contact with everybody and wants to smile at them and get their attention.
Will knew that there had been an issue. I told him that she wasn't going to come home right away, that there had been an illness and that it was very serious, but I think she was going to be okay eventually. Not okay as in walking, talking, but okay as if she could come home and be a happy child.
It's not like, oh my gosh, this horrible thing happened to us. Everybody else has something similar. Either not, if not in their own family, then close by, or their friends, or they know somebody. And there's so many stories that, even we hear them and we go, oh my gosh, that's horrible. I don't know if I could handle that. But, I think there's people who say that about us and Elizabeth, and we don't really see it that way. It's like she's our daughter and we take care of her and we do the next right thing.
I'm very proud of Cure CP. Richard and I are both grateful to Cure CP. Lizette and company put in a lot of work all through the year. I know she travels to conferences. So Lizette's been doing this a lot longer than I have as far as caring for a special needs child. So whenever I'm in a rut or I need to find out about a doctor, something like that, Lizette's already going to know the answer.
Missy does all of the taking Elizabeth to and from therapies in school while I'm at work. And I know she takes that wheelchair in and out of the van at least 4 times a day, every day. The wheelchair is not light. Take Elizabeth out of the wheelchair, get her into the van, get her buckled into her seat, and then you got to take the wheelchair and put it back in the back of the van, and you have to take it apart. The seat comes off of the base, so you got to lift that off, and it's pretty awkward, really. It can be exhausting.
Having a special needs child, in our case daughter, keeps us very busy. We buy a lot of equipment for her, we go to a lot of meetings for her, we have a lot of therapies for her. The robotics program was that a friend from school in Elizabeth's class went through it, and so I had already heard about it but didn't know anybody personally that went through it. They hooked her up to electrodes and they got her on bicycles, which is something she normally doesn't get to do. And they walked with her. It's just a really cool program that I think any special needs parent that has a child that has mobility issues should definitely take a tour through their center. Basically, it has to do with what insurance you have, depending on how many visits you can go to. We did it over about a 2-month period, twice a week. I took her out of the program after our insurance was done. I think they told me how much it was a week, and it was very expensive out of pocket. Elizabeth outgrew her feeding chair a couple weeks ago, and her typical feeding chair would cost about $4,000, $5,000. That insurance doesn't cover.
There was a cap of $1,500 for durable medical equipment in a year. They wouldn't pay any more than that. And I think that might buy like one of the braces on one of her pieces of equipment, I mean, her wheelchair was $12,000. The paperwork is unbelievable, it really is. We went through the application process for Katie Beckett for Elizabeth for Medicaid, and I don't know, I think I'm a pretty well-educated guy and I've done a lot of paperwork in my life, and I did that, and it took me a long time. It was hundreds of pages of forms for the government, and we were rejected. And then I went back and based on what I knew, I adjusted it and applied again, and we were rejected again. got it approved. And then every year it's like doing taxes, but worse. I really love the time that she and I spend together. Like, I put her to bed every night and get her in her PJs and hold her. After bath time, get her in her pajamas. I'll read books with her or sing with her, things like that, and find out what else can we figure out that'll make her laugh today. Somebody gave us a book called Don't Push the Button, and she just thought that was the funniest thing ever. So a lot of times at bedtime, I'm giving her 1 or 2 bottles of Pediasure. Brushing teeth, have a couple of bottles and she'll fall asleep with me.